everybody, welcome back to my channel. Firstly, I'd just like to say sorry for being MIA. It was a big week this week. Had some doctor's appointments and tests on Monday, and then my poor mum fell over on Tuesday, and we rushed her to A&E, and she's fractured her wrist. She had to have a CT scan and other body imaging as well. Luckily enough, nothing was broken. It's fine. She's healing now. She had a nasty bruise all over the side of her face, closed up her eye, her cheekbone and above her eye. Excuse me. And yeah, she was hurting everywhere. She cut her foot. Like I said, she's fractured her wrist, and she's got cuts and grazes all over her, but she's on the mend. She's getting better every day. Luckily enough, we're quite fast healers, so yeah, she's getting better. So thank you everybody for your kind words and all your support and everything. It's really appreciated. So now I am back, and I have just a little craft with me video. So I'm going to play today, basically. All my specimen videos, I do want to carry them on, because I was kind of sitting there and I was like, specimen is not just bugs. Like, specimen could be the human body, plants, sort of, you know. So I want to kind of, yeah, I'm going to go down that route as well. I'm just waiting for some supplies. So yeah, and then yeah, I'm going to carry on with the specimens as well as other stuff as well. But today I want to play with the HOLTZ Ephemera, the Snapshots, and the I can never remember what they're called. So I do take everything out and I do mix them up, but then I cut the tops off so I know what I've got. So in here is Fond Relatives and the photo booth. I'll list everything down below that I'm using anyway. But yeah, these are the snapshots. So I've got a couple of packs in here. You'll have to excuse me. This was the original, and because I love my grunge, I decided to grunge it up. Now this is a little bit too orange for me, but I still love it. I used alcohol ink, and I've used crackle paste and crackle paint. You can just see the crackles just around there, and I sanded some of the crackle paste off because it was a little bit too 3D for my liking. And then I stamped on, and I just rubbed over with a little bit of hand sanitizer just to take off some of the ink. And then again down here, these are the two stamps from the Tiny Toadstools. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to grunge up some snapshots. So first off, we are going to vintage up some snapshots. So I've already done that one. I want the big ones. That's a cool one. That's a cool one. Right, so I think I'm going to do this one first. And I'm going to use the translucent crackle paste. It's quite warm today, so it should dry quite fast. Right, I've got my palette knife, and I'm just going to take a splodge and just spread it I don't want to go over any of their faces. So I'm just going to take a baby wipe and just take this bit off. Luckily enough, the surface of these snapshots is quite glossy, so things do wipe off. Right, so I'm going to put that aside and dry. I'm going to do that to a couple more. Right, so they've all dried, and I don't know if you can see, but there's some really, really cool crackles on here. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. They're not completely dry. I mean, look at that. Oh, absolutely amazing. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little sanding discs and I'm just going to smooth some of the corners off. Now I like it when it does this, so it has brought up some of the crackle paste and then left some of it behind, and that's the kind of effect that I'm looking for. So it's taken off all the big bumps. Leveling it all off smooth. Just gonna, because they're glossy, I'm just gonna take a wipe and just wipe all the dust off. And now I'm going to do the house one first. I'm going to get my alcohol inks. Now, to start with, I'm going to use my medium mat. So I'm going to place this down. And I have my alcohol blending solution. I plus have my alcohol spray as well. I have got latte, caramel and ginger, but I don't think I'm going to use ginger because it's a little bit too yellow and orangey for me. So I'm going to replace it with mushroom, which is my favorite. So first off, I'm just going to use a little bit of latte, which has a very green kind of undertone to it, and I'm just gonna put a dab and then get me puffer and just blow it just a little bit, and then I'm going to get the caramel and just a dab I'm going to use my blending solution because I don't want these little, because if it was old, those bits would be blended like that. And I'm just gently just like that. It's gone a little bit far down. So I'm just going to take my alcohol and just with a wet wipe, just blend. So you can just kind of, it's got like a watercolour effect, which I absolutely love. So now on this corner, I'm going to take the mushroom and just lightly move it across with a little bit of the latte. And some blending solution. I quite like the effect the blending solution gives because it kind of makes it look patchy. And then I'm just going to take my baby wipe and just blend the edges before it dries. And that's the alcohol ink. Stamp sets. Oh, I think I'm going to use the filled label. I want this bit in the middle. So I'm going to get my VersaFine Clair. I'm just going to zap it. I am going to take my walnut stain and just darken the edges. I'm just going to take my walnut stain zap it again. And now I'm going to take my sandpaper and I'm going to move my media mat because I don't want to ruin that. And I just want to just do the edges like that, just so it comes away just at the corners. I'm going to take my scissors. I'm not going to go all the way round and distress it all. Just on certain places. And now I'm going to do a bit more stamping. And I'm going to use my alcohol lift. And I'm just going to hold it down for a few seconds. Now this might not work because I have dried it and everything else. And because of the crackle paste as well, but we can but try. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But what it will do, if it doesn't lift the ink, is it will still leave an impression. So it will still leave like a blueprint, if you like, that it was there. And that's the feel that you want. You want it to feel sticky. Right, so I'm just going to quickly wipe that off of there because I don't want to leave that on the stamp. And then I'm going to get some kitchen roll and just dab. Now it has lifted it, it hasn't gone white, and I think that's because I rubbed in the ink on the edge, but that's absolutely fine because it still looks aged and it still looks like it's been part of the photo for so long. So yeah, and I absolutely love it. I really do. I think they're so cool. If you wanted to, how I made this stamp from the Teeny Toadstools really vague is I took a wet wipe and I just really lightly rubbed over it, so it took parts of the stamp off. So yeah, that's how I aged my photos. Like I said, this one went a little bit too orange than what I wanted. But I did crackle paste this a long time ago and I found it in my stash and I was like, oh, I need to finish that. I need to do something with that. So yeah, I'm glad I finished it. And as you can see in this corner, hopefully it will show up. Can you see it there? The received stamp is in the corner and you can just kind of make it out. It's like a ghost print, if you like. But yeah, that one is a little bit orange. This one turned out, because I definitely still like to have a bit of white in the background as well. But oh, I just love them. I just love how they turn out. They look really aged. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a bit of music and I'm going to do the other three. also what I've realised is the alcohol ink, can you see that? It reacts with the crackle paste. So what I want to do is I'm just going to get a clean wet wipe, and over the top of the crackle paste, I'm just going to wipe